In their day, they were the highest expression of art, towering edifices built of stone and glass. They were the cathedrals of Europe, and among the most awesome are the cathedrals of Spain. Buckle your seatbelt, Nicole takes us on a whirlwind excursion in this episode of The Rain in Spain.
Our first stop is in Toledo. With its needle-like spires, intricately carved figures, and pointed arches, the Cathedral of St. Mary is considered one of the finest examples of Gothic architecture in Spain. And if you thought the carvings on the outside were impressive, wait until you go inside. The man responsible for creating this amazing wall was lucky he had 4 sons with very special skills. 2 were architects, 1 was a sculptor, and the 4th son was a painter. It took the talented family years to complete this masterpiece. What's particularly special about the wall is the way it's lighted. A giant window is strategically placed to allow the morning rays to illuminate the sculptures, making it look, as some say, as if the figures were ascending to heaven. But the pride and joy of the cathedral is this 500-year-old monstrance. A monstrance is a vessel containing the bread and wine Catholics use during communion. Standing 10 feet tall, it's made of more than 400 pounds of silver and gold. And not just any gold, but supposedly the first gold brought back by Christopher Columbus. No surprise that the glass case is bulletproof. Spain's most famous explorer has his own place of honor in a different cathedral. And that takes us to the city of Seville. Not only is this the world's largest cathedral, it's the 3rd largest church in the world. If you're wondering what's the difference between a cathedral and a church, it's not the architecture, nor the size of the building. The simplest explanation is that a cathedral is a church that is home base to a bishop. So while all cathedrals are churches, not all churches are cathedrals. Our guide is Carmen. She's from Seville's Tourist Bureau.
We are in front of one of the biggest altar pieces in all the Christianity, all around the world. Okay, it's almost 400 square meters that we can see over here. 44 images about the Old Bible and the New Bible. We have to imagine that normally in the 16th, 17th century, not many people know how to read or how to write.
That's why this altar wall is nicknamed the Gold Bible. The images helped those who couldn't read to recognize important biblical stories.
Now we are on the tomb of Cristobal Columbus, okay? We got some controversy about Cristobal Columbus' body. Why? Because at the beginning he died in Spain, but he was buried in Santo Domingo, okay? When United States invaded Santo Domingo, they moved the body to Cuba. But what happened at the end of the 19th century, when Spain started to lose all the colonies in Cuba and South America, they finally moved the body of Columbus to Seville, where we can find the body today. Why we got some controversy about the body? Because in Santo Domingo, they still say that they got Cristobal Columbus' body. Okay, we can have one part of body in every place. He made the Spanish Empire one of the biggest empires all around the world. It's the reason that it's so important, Columbus over here.
When he died in 1506, Columbus was only about 54 years old. Next stop is in Cordoba. Officially named Cathedral of Our Lady of Assumption, this church has a rather unusual history. You get a first hint at that history when you step inside. The forest of multicolored arches almost hypnotizes the visitor with their seemingly endless symmetry. So if you think this looks more like an Islamic mosque than a Catholic church, you're right. It once was a mosque. When the Spanish reconquered Cordoba from the Moors, rather than tearing down the mosque, Spain's Christian kings simply added to the incredible building. They even kept what's called the mihrab. This type of wall is sacred to Muslims. It indicates the direction of Mecca, the direction they're supposed to face when praying. Our last stop is in Barcelona. For one of the world's most controversial churches. This is Sagrada Familia. It means Sacred Family. And if it looks rather gaudy, maybe it's because it was designed by an architect named Gaudi. He started remodeling the cathedral back in 1883. Gaudi died before it was completed. In fact, it's still under construction today. It's expected to be finished by 2026. As for the controversy, some love the design of Sagrada Familia. Others think it looks like a building that has escaped from an amusement park. Email us and tell us what you think. For Teen Kids News, I'm Nicole.